Hello my lovely Pisceans, and a very warm welcome to your May 2020 horoscope. Rather a big couple of months coming up, with a lot of retrogrades this month, and next month the eclipses. So let's start out with this month. In the middle of the month we've got Venus going to go retrograde, and Venus rules your finances and your relationships. So this will be an opportunity for some reflection on these two important life areas. It's not the best time for getting into a new relationship, because you might change your mind by the time Venus goes direct 6 weeks later, but it is a good time for completing up any kind of negotiations that you've been doing, and it is a good time for somebody from the past to come back into your life. Let me break the month down for you. On the 7th of the month, we've got a full moon happening up here in your 9th house. Full moons always shine a light in a life area that might need some changes, some adjustments doing. So the 9th house has to do with travelling, with exploring new horizons, with creating a wider perspective on your life. So you may be taking a trip. You may be going to somewhere you've never been to before. You may be going back to somewhere that you loved, that you visited a while ago. It's also shining a light on your spiritual journey. Does your life have enough meaning? And if not, what would give it meaning? What would give it something more depth to it? What do you need to learn? This 9th house is the house of higher learning. What do you want to study and learn that will advance your soul and make you feel really good inside yourself? On the 12th of the month, we've got Mercury coming to join Venus in your 4th house. This is a good time for working from home, for launching a business from home, and also for any kind of communications with your family members or people who feel like they're family members. And on the 13th, 14th of the month, Venus goes retrograde until June 25th, 26th. Now with Venus retrograde in the 4th house, this is really, it's an important time to take some time out. The 4th house is a peaceful house. It's where you're home. It's also a good time to reevaluate and look at your surroundings, your home. How could I make it more beautiful, more comfortable? Doesn't have to be a big space. Often it's easier to make a small space very beautiful than it is to do it on a big space. More difficult on a big space very often. So what little space in your world could you make into a sanctuary? A place that really feels home for you, that's restful, where you can unwind and reevaluate. How are my relationships? Am I giving too much? Am I not receiving enough? Does a relationship need to end? Or do I need to deepen it? What changes do I need to make within myself so that I can trust more and go deeper? These are all the kinds of questions to ask yourself with this Venus retrograde energy. As well, with Venus retrograde, it's important to look at your spending habits. Is money slipping through my fingers? What can I do to change that? Am I unaware of where my money is going? Or am I too tight? Am I too in control? It's a question of coming back into balance. And because Venus is also co-ruler of Libra, it's very much this question of balance in relationships, with money, and with people and love. On the 21st of the month, we got the Sun coming into this 4th house. And on the 22nd, a glorious new moon in the 4th house. So some of you might be thinking of moving. You might want to move home. You might just be moving the furniture around. You might move state or even country. But it's time for some new beginnings concerning your home environment. With a new moon, maybe it's time to get rid of things that you don't need anymore, declutter, and make space for something new. Could be a new family member. And it could be something new happening with respect to your relationship with your family members. And that can be people who are alive and also people who've passed on. You can make peace with family members when they've gone, just as much as you can do it in person. It's different, but it is doable. It's not the best time for getting into new negotiations, but it's a wonderful time for completing any negotiations that have been ongoing that started before the middle of the month. With Saturn and Jupiter also retrograde from the middle of the month, it's important to remember that sometimes stepping back is really valuable because it gives you a new perspective. You know, when you're really embroiled in something, your emotions are engaged, you're waiting for the next text, you're waiting for an email, yeah, you're pulled off center. With these retrogrades, it's an opportunity to get yourself back, to regain yourself. That's what these retrogrades are going to help you to do if you see it in that way. If you continue to push and be impatient, they're going to frustrate you. But if you see this as an opportunity to really come back into your own center and to trust your own intuition and come from that space, then this month can be very, very beneficial for you. So there you have it, my lovely Pisceans. Oops, forgot, on the 13th, 14th, Mars coming into your sign. Really good for your energy levels. You might find as though you can start a new exercise regime, get going with a new project. Really good. Just make sure that you're not too busy and that you do take this important time out from the middle of the month onwards. I wish you a wonderful month. Thank you for liking, commenting, subbing and sharing. Bye for now.